you should address the following question, right? What is the impact of your research findings on the industry, field investigated, and your university, and what's not. So in other words, it's what's the impact on the real world, right? And how your findings contributes to the existing body of knowledge, and what might your findings mean for future research, right? So how does your research can trigger the future research to be conducted by others or by yourself, right? Okay. If you include these four essential ingredients of your dissertation abstract, you'll be headed in a good direction. Okay. Right. So at the final part here, some of the words that we could use is that we conclude that coffee consumption increases productivity, rather than we concluded that coffee consumption increases productivity. There are two different word structure here, and you can see that reader should finish reading your abstract with a clear understanding of your central point of your research, right? Which has been proven and argued. Okay. All right. So here's an example of an abstract from a master's thesis. Okay. So remember our four things just now: purpose, method, findings, and implication. I have color coded it into blue, red, green, and also pink, right? So probably you could read the abstract that I have provided here, and maybe tell me which part is the purpose, which part is the method, which part is the findings and implications. Okay, so before we go to the next slide. Right, anybody want to read and try and tell me? I'll give you a few minutes to read. Yes, Mr. Haruna?
Yes, the purpose can be captured here. Yeah, this research project aims to bring to light the experiences of immigrants and citizenship applicants living in Dallas, Texas, to promote a better understanding of Dallas' increasingly diverse population.
Okay.
Additionally, the purpose of this project is to provide insights to specific clients, the Office of Dallas Welcoming Communities and Immigrants Affairs, about Dallas lawful permanent residents who are eligible for citizenship and their reason for pursuing citizenship status.
All right. So you're saying that from the first part of the thesis, first part of the abstract, the purpose. Yeah. All right. Okay, that's correct.
That's for the purpose. Yes.
Yes.
And for
methods,
the methods. Yes. The method. The data for this project was collected through observation at various citizenship workshops and community events, as well as through semi-structured interviews with 14 U.S. citizenship applicants.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Haruna. All right. So what about the findings?
Okay. The findings. That is the last 5 sentences. These findings indicate the need for educational resources and mentorship for Dallas area residents applying for U.S. citizenship, as well as a need for local government programs that foster a sense of community among citizenship applicants and their neighbors.
All right. Okay, let's see whether you got it right in the next slide. All right, here's the answer. Okay, so what you have mentioned just now is actually the implication, and the findings is the findings started from reasons for applying for U.S. citizenship until this part here, right? So these are the segregation of the purpose, methods, and purpose, method, findings, and implication that should be in an abstract. Okay. Right. Thank you,
Okay.
Mr.
Yeah.
Haruna.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So now let's go to a practical tips for writing your abstract. So when you craft your abstract for your dissertation, your thesis, or probably your research paper, the most powerful technique that you could use is try to put yourself in the potential reader's mind. How do you want to write? How do you want to read? How interesting you want it to be? So you have to put your shoes in the reader's mind or examiner's mind in the sense that it will help you to write better. Okay, and assume that the reader doesn't know anything and you yourself need to explain something about your areas, your expertise, but in a layman term. Okay, in a very simple word so that people can understand. Right. Start by trying to answer the question. Why should I read this dissertation? Why should I read this thesis? Why should I read this paper and so on? Right. So and also keep it simple, no big words and no jargons. Like I said just now, we are trying to explain it to a layman using layman term. Okay, and be specific with your abstract. No beating around the bush. So just be specific, right? So make sure that you include the what, the why, the how, and so what in your research of your research in the abstract. So indicating here what you studied, okay, what you have studied, and the who and the where are included in this part, yeah, right? And why this topic was important, and how did you design your study, which is the research methodology, and so what. Okay, when we talk about so what is to see the big findings and also the implication of your research. Okay, so like for example, you are doing a research on industrial relations in your country, and you have interviewed workers from the manufacturing industry, and so what's the implication? So that's how it's going to be, right? So those are the some practical tips that can help you in writing your abstract. Okay, one next slide. Right, how to keep your abstract or summary short and clear. Okay, avoid passive sentences. Right, passive construction are sometimes long, so you can make it easy by using active voice, right? And avoid long sentences. I know we can get too carried away when we write our thesis or papers. We get too carried away and we tend to write long sentences. So keep your sentence simple, right? And avoid jargon, right? So people might not understand the jargon that we use in industrial relations, for example, or in the research or in any scientific research or whatsoever. So avoid the jargon, right? Avoid repetition and filler words. Okay, sometimes you tend to repeat what you have said in the first paragraph. Okay, so please avoid that. And last but not least is to avoid detailed description. Okay, it is not the intention of abstract. I mean, like abstract is not expected to provide a detailed definition, background information whatsoever. So that's why we never get any definition in abstract. Okay, we will just start the thing with a simple sentences. Okay? If you want to know the definition, then people should read the thesis. Okay. All right. So here's a checklist of what you need when you need to write an abstract. You can address all this checklist here and see. I mean, like to get you guided. Okay. So the word count within is supposed to be the required length. Okay. For example, for a normal thesis, a PhD thesis, it could be between 300 to 500 words, right? And for a dissertation, could be 150 to 300 words, right? And for a research paper, to publish the paper, you could have 200 to 300, okay? Depending on the journal that you are sending, depending on the journals that you are sending your papers to. Okay, so please excuse me. right? Second one is the abstract appears. Hang on. Okay, sorry, I'm back. I was coughing just now. Okay, so the second one is that the abstract appears after the title page and acknowledgement and before the table of content in your dissertation or your thesis. Okay, but for research paper, it will be upfront after the title. Okay, and the third one, the checklist, the third checklist is that you have to ask yourself, I have clearly stated my research problem and objective. I have briefly described my methodology. I have summarized the important results, and I have stated my main conclusion, and have mentioned any important limitation and recommendation. And last but not least, the abstract can be understood by someone without having a prior knowledge of the topic. Okay, so these are the checklists that you uh, need to have in order to help you to write a good abstract. I will share this slide with Professor Frank, and maybe he can share it with the audience today. Right. So that's all from me. My email address is as written on the screen. Should you have any questions or any inquiries at all, feel free to email me. Right. So that's all from me. Ji shukriya. Thank you.
Dear participants, if we have any questions, you can ask to Dr. Idaya Sena.
Yes, I have some questions to ask her.
All right.
Yeah, Dr. Idaya Husna. Yes, very, very good presentation. I have really learned a lot from you. You are precise as the word precise that you just presented, abstract. Fantastic presentation. Yeah. Yeah, my question is, there is, to every rule, there are exceptions. Exceptions in the sense that I have read a lot of articles online that do not follow the very pattern that you just described.
Yeah.
The very core ones, the purpose, the implication, the method that they have used. Why do you think that some researchers do not go by that pattern? Why?
Okay. All right. Let me thank you, Mr. Haruna. Okay. I was once a student doing my degree, my master's, and my PhD. Even I'm going to confess here, even my PhD thesis does not have a good abstract. Okay, so these are the things that we learn and improve through the time. Okay, so some people, in terms of not following the rules and the tips when you write a good abstract, is because sometimes when you write something, your supervisor is influencing you to write the way that they want, right? So that could be an implication as well. And basically, some of us just simply write the abstract and didn't know what is supposed to be displayed in a abstract, and do not know what they are supposed to be presenting. Okay, so there are some, not to say that there are some exception, but these are the things that are newly the awareness to write a good abstract, right? So it's becoming an important part now for the thesis, abstract, and also dissertation, and also research paper. So don't worry about it. We have learned about it, so we can do it to promote a good abstract. And when people read our thesis, oh, this is a good abstract, and they will follow through. So we would be setting the example from now on with the tips that I've given. Is that okay, Mr. Haruna?
Yeah, doctor. So from your submission, it means that if it doesn't follow this pattern, but you present a very good abstract, that's okay, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Good.
Yep.
Thank you. All right.
Alright.
My next question is with the presentation that you did, the purpose, the methods, the findings, and the implications that I read. I want to find out from you, with your experience and research, what is the best tenses? Is it past tense, present tense, past participle tense that you have to use?
Yeah.
In 1, purpose. 2, methods. 3, findings. 4, implications. What is the right sentences that we have to use?
All right. Hang on.
Yeah.
I'll share my screen again.
All right.
Right. So I'll go back to the we'll go back to the steps. Right. So right, for the purpose, it should be present tense, right? Or past simple tense, right? So but should never be referred to the future, as the research is already complete. Like I said just now, your research has already complete, so you don't need to use the word will investigate, because you have already done the investigation, right? So the proper words would be: this study investigates the relationship between coffee consumption and productivity, right? And if it is a proposal, abstract for proposal, research proposal, then it should be: this study will investigate the relationship, or this study intend to investigate the relationship between coffee consumption and productivity, right? So this is the for the purpose, yeah. So for the methodology, it is a description, right? So you describe what you have done, right? And for the findings, right, it's also using past and simple tense, because you are explaining that what you have done, okay? And for the implication, right, conclusions are usually written in the present simple tense, right? So for example, we conclude that coffee consumption increases productivity, rather than saying that we concluded that coffee consumption increases productivity, right? Does this help? Does this help, Mr. Haruna?
Yes. The reason why I asked this question is at step 3. At step 3, you gave us 2. There was step 3. If you go back, yes. Our analysis shows a strong correlation between coffee consumption and productivity. And then the third one, our analysis showed a strong correlation between coffee consumption and productivity. So these 2 words, these 2 sentences, the first one, I'm talking about the green, the correct one. The first one shows that it is present, and then the last one shows that it is past.
Yeah, simple past.
Simple past, yes. Yes. So if you're writing your abstract, should it follow suit like that? If you are using present where it's not, where it's supposed to be present, and if you are using past simple tense where it's supposed to be past simple tense, it should follow suit. But you shouldn't go this way, present, and then you do it this way, past simple tense, right?
No, yeah. You have to set in your mind which one do you want to use, the present or simple tenses. Now decide from the step 1. You decide whether you want to use present tense or you want to use a simple past simple tense. Okay.
Exactly. All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other question?
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yep. I can hear you.
Yes, audible.
Yes, ma'am. I have a doubt. like for instance, sometimes we get invitations from conferences, and like there is a good gap between the date of the abstract and the final submission of paper. For
Mm-hmm.
example, the last conference that I had attended, there was a gap of minimum, I think, 4 to 5 months between the abstract and the full submission of the paper. So when I wrote my abstract, I just had a plan of research, and I actually wrote that abstract in future tense because I had prepared the design and I had yet not conducted my study. And
Mm-hmm.
in that time period, of 4 5 months, I had to go to a different state and conduct interviews over there. So I wrapped up my research according to the plan that I had made, and then I submitted my paper. So, ma'am, do you think I followed the wrong approach? Because, as you said, abstract is meant to reflect that what you have already done as a research paper or as your thesis.
For me, it's okay because when you submitted the paper for the conference, you haven't quite finished it yet, right? So that should be okay.
That was in future tense because I had not. I just made the plan that how am I going
Yes,
to conduct it. So I
yes,
stated my methodology very briefly
yes.
that that I'll be using narrative analysis and these many people will be interviewed, and I had all that plan set because I could envision that in what way I will conduct my study, and I
Mm-hmm.
conducted it later on.
Yeah.
So my research paper was actually in an ongoing process when I had sent the abstract. So it
Mm-hmm.
was in future tense. So
Yeah.
is it okay, ma'am, or should we always try to take out a research paper from the research that we have done in the past?
Yeah.
What is your opinion?
Basically, when we attend conference, the paper that we are going to send for the conference are the research that has already been done. So that's why
Okay.
my presentation tonight is about all past tense and simple past and all and so on. But in your case, you are planning to do the research, and after 5 months, you have come up with the complete research, right? So what matters is the one that you are currently doing. Maknanya, means when you go for the conference, your research has already been done, and your abstract should be a proper abstract that all the things that you have done, the past tense, the simple past tense, right? Okay, Miss Anjali.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, I get it.
So
Because
it's
the presentation that I gave, it was all in past tense because by that time the paper had got selected and I had to present it on the day of the conference. So I
yes.
used past tense only. I told them that this is what I had done. So
Mm,
because the paper was already over.
yeah.
So I just wanted a confirmation from you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am, and wonderful presentation.
So I
Thank
hope
you,
you
ma'am.
can publish your paper with the new abstract, and all the best to you.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Any other questions?
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah, ma'am, I would like to ask you a question about abstract for review papers, as I'm very confused about the abstract for review paper. So whatever you have taught us, that was really excellent, and I understood everything clearly. But I have a little doubt about review paper. The abstract for review paper, is it same, and is it applies the same way like you have taught us?
What do you mean by review paper? Maybe we are using a different term in my country and your country. So does the review paper means you are sending your papers to be published, Miss Roshani?
Review papers, they are written on some like secondary data which somebody has
Or
already
review
written, and like I
paper?
want to review a book and write
Yeah,
about
yeah. I
it
get you
in
now.
our words. Yeah.
All right, review paper. All right, okay. So review
That is
paper.
also called review of literature, ma'am.
Oh, okay, SLR. All right, okay. We call it SLR. Okay, I understand now. Okay, it's supposed to be the same, but you have to follow the secondary data way of how you conduct your research and all. It should be the same structure, purpose, methodology, results, and also implication. But do it in your way. Because the basic that I've taught just now goes well with qualitative and also quantitative. Also for reviewing literature review. Right, Miss Roshani?
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Participants, any other questions?
Right, we have Mr. Haruna.
Yes. I have a question to ask, ma'am. Please, with your experience in research, can you share with us where we can have samples, maybe
Oh,
a website that we can be able to go there and practice as to how to write very good abstracts? Yeah, some of us are students. We are still learning, so we want to get
yeah,
to know
correct.
where we can get the resources to reach. Or
All
if you
right.
have any materials that you can share with us for
Okay.
further studies, we'll be very happy. Thank you.
Right. I can share the extra material and also the website with Dr. Frank, and maybe he can share it with you. But for me myself, when I was doing my studies, I love to read abstract from Emerald Insight. As if you can see the Emerald Insights abstract, for their papers, they have already segregated the purpose, methodology, implication, results, and so on. So it's easier to read. When I read it, and when I'm doing my abstract for any other papers that I'm doing, I'll just put it in a paragraph form, right? So there's a lot of other good journals like Springerling and so on. They have a nice and well written abstract. So I usually go to Springerling and also Emerald Insight. Okay, Mr. Haruna?
All right, madam. Thank you, doctor.
All right.